The thing when you go to use these is you have to be very careful about this tip. All right, you never want to put metal on this. This is very sharp, but it's also easy to damage. I've seen people who use these, and you'll often get a piece of wood stuck in here. Well, I'll just take the end of the knife here and we'll poke it out that way. You're going to damage the core. And if you look closely, there's a little burr on here. All right, from when I did that a long time ago, before I knew any better. Okay. And so what happens is when you core in, you take out your sample with your extractor here. Okay. When you pull out your sample, now you're going to have an extra ring going around it, and it kind of mars your sample. So now you have to sand a lot more to get a good accurate count. All right. So you never want to put metal on the end. All right. That's why in here I've got some wooden dowels that you can use to push these things back out. And sometimes even that, they're so tight stuck in there that you can't do that immediately. You have to let it dry out, and eventually it'll shrink, and then you can pop it right out. And when you go to core, you want to go, do you need to go all the way through the tree?
Halfway.
You just need to go, you have to go a little further than halfway, all right? And it's always kind of guessing, but you're trying to hit the very center of the tree. And so you're trying to imagine where you think, with the way this tree's growing, where you think that center part of the tree is, okay? And you just give it some direct pressure to get it started, and you want to go straight in. And hopefully I'll be able to get it out. I know I'm almost positive I'm going to get some rot in here, so we'll see how far we can get.
A lot faster.
Hear the pitch changing. That's okay, there's a lot of wet on there. I'm still cutting. There, I'm going to stop right there. That's all the front it's going to let me go in. I'm getting into some dead wood, and I'm not be able to get much out of here. So hemlocks are often like this. You got a big old hemlock, but you can't get it out. So let's see, how about you hold this right here, so if I can see it. I might want to put like one finger here and hold it down, and another hand back here. And you can walk that around, you can see, walk that around a little bit, you can see the rings. Now we only went in, I don't know, what, 6-8 inches? Okay. And we already hit some rot in there. Now if you're serious about doing this kind of stuff, you want to save your cores, especially if you're trying to document an area. And you got to have a way to carry everything in and out of the wood so you don't lose it. So I just devised a little PVC pipe thing on the end. I can carry my straws. Usually carrying these cores are great inside straws. And the best straws, I'm telling you, are Arby's straws, because they haven't skimped on the diameter of the plastic yet. You know, McDonald's straws, Burger King straws, it ain't going to work. You need a clear straw. And most places don't have a clear straw anymore. And two, you need to have it at least wide enough to fit your core. And oftentimes they're longer than your one single straw, so you just piece the straws together.
So what he's saying is a scientific study brought to you by Arby's.
That's right, Arby's and Lowe's. Yep.
That's cool.
He's thinking Arby's. Should all go to Arby's for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
So you ever see, you go into Arby's?
Bring you back a few straws.
Yeah. You go into Arby's and you notice that they're missing straws? I might have been there. I don't pilfer, but I'll ask them. Can I have a dozen straws, please? Sure. I haven't been told no yet, but they'll usually give you a little handful of them. Let me see here. Trying to get a rough count on 6 inches here.
Got 46.
46. So you got 46 rings.
And
And,
did you ever mention the ring about the distance between
Oh,
the house and homes?
yeah, the distance of the rings often will help you get an idea of, was it a good growing year? Was it a bad growing year? Maybe if you're lucky, you might catch a fire scar on there. Usually when you hit rot, that's as far as you're going to go. You're really not going to get a whole lot. Now somebody asked, well, how do you keep them in there? Well, that's what your tape's for. But you got to watch you don't lose it. You just tape the ends. If you can find the end of your tape.
That plastic stuff.
Real high-tech stuff
Yeah,
here.
that stuff.
You don't want to lose it. Then when you get back to the lab, you can take them out and put them on let's say a drying board of sorts and let them dry out. And once they're dried out, then you can sand them down if you need to get a better count in the rings. And often I'll label these because if you're taking a number of them, you're not going to remember which one you got from wherever. All right, so you want to keep track of what species was it. Well, it's an eastern hemlock. Well, you need to develop your own little shorthand because you're not going to be able to write all the information on here. All right, so you develop your own little shorthand. Eastern hemlock, I'll take the diameter at breast height, whatever that might be, and write that down. And then I'll take the diameter at the point that I took the core, okay? And if I didn't get the whole core, all right, sometimes I'll keep track of how much, let's say, I would theoretically have missed if I would have went to the center of the tree. You can find diameter, all right? So let's say, how big is this? 30? What you get? 38? Okay, let's say it's 38. All right, so ideally you'd be ideally looking for, let's say, a 19-inch core, and let's say we only got maybe 7 inches here. All right, so you know how much you missed. We had what, 40 some rings in there, 46 rings and about 6 inches. Now, you can extrapolate all you want, but it's all guessing from here to the center on how old it is. All right, so this is nice to start with, but we would, nobody's going to accept this for actual science. Okay, you need to get a lot closer, but it's a good start. You get to see the process, and I'm hoping to get into an old oak at the next site that we're at. And oaks are a bit easier, let's say, to core. It's a cleaner core, and hemlocks we often get into some rot. So I don't have a whole lot of luck with hemlocks, but I do want to at least show you the method here. Now, someone asked earlier, does doing this hurt the tree? Well, it's a wound. All right, there is some damage, but it rarely is going to kill the tree. There has been studies where they've shown where they did this 3 or 4 times and it killed the tree. Well, you don't want to keep this in here long either. Actually, on a real big white pine, I want to get this out fairly quickly. There's a lot of weight that's pushing down on this core and can put a lot of pressure on you trying to get this back out. Thankfully, this is cutting back out.
Doc.
My knees and
Your knees.
I don't understand it. I couldn't explain it to you that well. I don't understand. But you get see now I got some wood stuck in there. But that's why you have multiple sizes of these
I'll
things.
borrow my knife.
So stick the rest of that down from the top down. Yeah, either way. There you go. There you go. Just don't let go of that end. There you go. That's it. Now it's out. All right.
Do you ever